한이 살인가요?
Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason, where the rookies of today hope to become the stars of tomorrow. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars, just ahead on EA Sports.
Looks like it's going to be a pretty soggy night here at TIAA Bank Field. Rain showers, maybe an occasional clap of thunder supposed to continue throughout here in Jacksonville. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Charles Davis alongside me, and I'm Brandon Gunn. And folks, the wait is over. Yes, it's just the preseason, but football is back in your living room.
And I'm excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running into other people. But I'm glad these guys are. Football is back.
Here now to get us started is Logan Cook. And off we go from Jacksonville. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson makes his return to the NFL gridiron this season after holding out for the entirety of 2021 and being traded from Houston. The Cleveland Browns, they made a big investment not only to bring him in, but to give him by far the most guaranteed money in NFL history. If Watson remains the same player he was in Houston, though, a three-time Pro Bowler and one of the game's biggest playmakers, he may finally solve a decades-long search for Cleveland's franchise quarterback.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
Yeah, that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out. They did. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first first 2 plays didn't amount to much.
And now facing a throw there. It's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. I'm not sure that you can say that the rain caused that interception, but look, it's clear that throwing the football is going to be tough in these conditions.
No doubt about it, and different quarterbacks handle it different ways. Some guys think the rain isn't a big deal, but wind affects them a little bit more. But you have to wonder, will these conditions hold scoring down? Are we going to have like a 9-6 type of a game? And then the pressure goes on the punters, who often hold for field goal attempts. Can they handle the snap and get the ball down so they can kick it?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And it caught out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
Well, that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut him down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate.
That tackle by Trayvon Walker. Nice play. He blows that up behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. Heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
The offense running out, and we shine the spotlight on the undrafted revelation, James Robinson. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if it can start to produce.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Open man right side is Ingram. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the 1st. So the completion gets him just a yard. And it'll be 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down. And they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
begin the drive with Hunt. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out his side.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On first down, it's Watson. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
On first and 10, it's Robinson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
There's the option going left on second down. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Even against double coverage, he found an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. Luton. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
あれまだ配信やってたんか。もう終わったんか。
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give right side now to Hunt. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. 79 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. On the counter, Hunt. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Well, that's success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Now on 3rd and long, they look to throw. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
Here's Luton to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Charles, let's get a look at the draft class for this offense. Remember, no first-round picks this year. They traded it away How much of a detriment is that?
Well, what they're hoping is the reason they traded away that first-round pick, that player won't be a detriment. He'll be an improvement for their team. And now as you get into the later rounds, in the middle rounds of this draft, that's when your scouting comes to the front. You have to hit on those selections.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Etienne up the middle. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Browns now are going to take over late in this first half. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the Browns' drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one. Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield and then capture him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll be out right at the 35. 107 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. They were probably just looking for a couple yards of breathing room, snapping the ball at their own 2. Well, they got a lot of breathing room.
And even knowing that offenses are as aggressive as they are now in the NFL, you still expect them to run the football in that situation. Why weren't they ready? Instead, it turns into a monster gain and gets them way from the shadow of their own end zone.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Felton, and he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. All around great play by Devin Lloyd, using his athleticism to get to the backfield and his strength to stop him for a loss. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follows this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, here's a look at their numbers throwing the football in what was a very even first half. Most of the starters are likely done. These coaching staffs getting ready to evaluate the youngsters in the second half. And to call the remainder of this preseason opener, we go back to Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because remember, it's still scoreless, which means you're starting from 0 again, so you just have one half to play instead of 2. What I would look at my play sheet, though, and see is something that maybe loosens things up for him.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Now Luton. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
Wow.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down.
But again, off the field on third down, excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Logan Cook now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Returnable for Grant. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Hunt will try going up the middle. Uses the spin. Taken down at the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Line of scrimmage at 15. It's 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. 12 more yards there and another first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Felton fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Brissett sets to throw it. It's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
確か今やってるはずですよ。あ、やってる。今13人見に行ってますね。FF の場合は1ついますからね、なんだかんやね。どっちやこれ。よいしょ。
It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns.
こ
So
れで
that
7
drive
点。
spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland.
あー、結構他の人もちらほらやってますね。
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
この頃あれみたいですけど、なんかデドバもたまにやる言ってましたけどね。デドバとエクリスと他のゲーム。
That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
昼間っていうか参加したんですけど、3回ともボットでキラーがボットだらけって聞いたら昼間はボットが多い言ってましたね。やたら素振りをしてましたよ。
A give running right, ETN, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. They'll run with ETN and trying to shake free, but ETN cannot. The defense will stop him short. He needed 2, he got 1, and it's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
あんなでも連続でボットっていうのは珍しいですよね。
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters, and that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Yikes, a 40-yard sets him back now for 2nd down.
Like the strategy, extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a handoff up the middle. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gate for a sack. And that's knocked away and incomplete. That clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here's first and 10. Start on the ground, ETN. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm is the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over, first and 10. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
前のは完全の英語やったからね。うわ
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
なぜかプレステ4で出ない。プレステ5と Xbox しか出ない。ああ、パクられた。パクられた。やばいやばいやばい。
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a first and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. Luke is going to pass it out of the shotgun to the end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. They give it off here to the tight end. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Chris Manhertz punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime. Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for two here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all. Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. It's selfish. You obviously don't have a flight to catch. Tomorrow. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jacoby Brissett in the offense, ready to begin their next drive. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown. And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run right side with Hunt. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 119 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Brissett. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth. Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. They stay on the ground again. It's Hunt. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. as he'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. On second and goal, the long man in the backfield is Hunt. He's going to get it running right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
Take control. いや、さすがにまだシーズンはいいですね。よっしゃ、まあとりあえず終わりましょうか、一旦。さすがにもうおらんかな。まあ、一応英語で。一旦これは閉めますわ。よいしょ。さあ、では。電話をせんとあかんくてね。